Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video. And the Houston Texans are making another move to bring in this time a receiver and Taywan Taylor, who's coming in expected to contribute on a unit that has seen the receiver Will Fuller, who was their number one receiver last year. He went to free agency, went to sign with the Miami Dolphins, and so that left them without yet another receiver. 2 years in a row losing your top receiver. Obviously, the year before, trading DeAndre Hopkins, and not only that, the Houston Texans. Obviously, we all know what's going on with Deshaun Watson, his situation. He had a great year passing, but it didn't translate to a lot of wins for the Houston Texans as they already needed more work as it was. And so now they're trying to bring in some more guys. And they brought in a good amount of guys, not necessarily the biggest names on the market, but they're finding value and adding a lot of depth to each position. And so receiver is definitely no exception there as they're continuing to try to improve upon what was one of the it was one of the better offenses in the league last year, although it didn't translate to a lot of wins. They were in a lot of games, and so, but that was just a testament to Deshaun Watson, the type of player that he is. Obviously, returning, they have guys such as Brandon Cooks. Now, Brandon Cooks is a tremendous talent. The knock on him has been the injuries. This man gets hurt so much. I've seen it with the Patriots. I've seen it with the Rams. He's just been injured a lot throughout his career, but when he's healthy, he's definitely good. And then you have, like Andre Roberts, from his time in Buffalo. They did draft Nico Collins. You obviously still got Kiki, and then you got guys like Chris Cooley. So they've got some receivers to come in and compete. Dante Moncrief. He used to be a decent name, and so back when he was with the Colts. So they definitely have some guys. And now you add Taywan Taylor to the mix, and yeah, this is definitely an interesting bunch. It's going to be really intriguing to see how these receivers develop. And matter of fact, who's going to be throwing in the ball? Honestly, that's going to be another factor as well, especially for coming in camp. And so, if certain quarterbacks get on the rhythm with certain receivers, that may help some of these receivers. And so, yeah, definitely intriguing to see how this depth chart plays out. It's going to be fun to see, definitely moving forward. But with that being said, though, a little bit more about Taywan himself. Now, he was drafted in the third round of 2017 draft, and he came out of Western Kentucky. And I'll talk a little bit about his Western Kentucky stats in a second. But yeah, he started off in 2017 with the Tennessee Titans, and he suited up for all 16 games, but got to start 4 games. He was targeted 28 times, had 16 receptions for 231 yards, averaging 14.4 yards a reception and 1 touchdown. He also added in 8 rushes for 43 yards as well on top of that. And then 2018, his second year with the Titans, he got to start 5 games, 37 receptions for 466 yards, averaging 12.6 yards a reception and 1 touchdown. And then from 2019 and 2020, both of those years with the Browns, but he didn't get to play very often. And so definitely he's looking to try to bounce back and get similar production and be a part of the unit as he was when he first came out of college, out of Western Kentucky for the Titans. And so, with that being said, though, his career at Western Kentucky, over from 2013 to 2016, throughout his time there, he had 256 receptions for 4,234 yards, averaging 16.7 yards a catch, and 41 touchdowns, and also added in 14 rushes for 49 yards as well. And so, one thing about Taywan that really stands out is that he's definitely a big time receiver in terms of the deep ball. That is his bread and butter. And I'll get into a little bit more of the specifics of what the scouting report had for him coming out of college. And so, but one thing that really stood out was that he led the nation with 948 receiving yards on deep passes in 2016. So that stat really stood out. So what that tells me is that this guy can definitely take the top off of a defense. And so I think of him potentially if he can bloom, especially around this fifth year in the league here, kind of like how Corey Davis did last year with the Tennessee Titans. And so definitely an opportunity here for him to come in and really be that receiver for the Houston Texans, because right now it's going to be a receiver by committee for them. Brandon Cooks is the receiver that stands out the most for them, but with his health, you don't know if you're going to get a full season out of him, and so you definitely are going to need guys like this on your roster that can come in and contribute however they however they specialize. And so some of the things that they said about him, though, when he was entering into the 2017 draft, according to the scouts, they say excellent downfield threat as he has exceptional playing speed and can take the top off the defense, as I just mentioned earlier. Knows how to read defenses and coverages and adjust his routes to take advantage of what the defense does and to find a coverage soft spot. That's great because, I mean, it's one thing to just be a deep threat, but to also know how to run routes as well and find those openings so the quarterback can find you. That is very key as well. Can work the middle of the field in traffic, and he's not afraid of contact and can absorb hits right after the catch. That's big there. That's really big. More physical than what his size would suggest, and therefore presents a rare speed physical combination. He's about 5'11", I believe, and so I'd say about 205, 210. Somewhere in between that, and so yeah, definitely being able to take a hit in the NFL. That's what's going to be key. And so there's a lot that he has to work with. They say he uses quickness well during route running and then coming out of breaks, and also when the ball is in his hands after the catch. So yeah, that explains all those yards after reception. He's basically been averaging a first down per catch, and so that's because he can run great routes and he can get separation, and he knows how to get open, and that's very valuable to know how to get open, to have the speed to go downfield, be able to make the play, and just read defenses and help the quarterback out. So that's really big here. So this signing here, it has some potential to it. Obviously, he hasn't had much in terms of on the field production over the last couple seasons, but sometimes new opportunity, new scheme that could work out, especially a team like the Houston Texans. Right now, I feel like they're just signing a bunch of players, bringing in low value players that can come in, but they also have, high ceilings, and we'll just see how things work out. They're bringing in a lot of quarterbacks, they're bringing in a lot of running backs, bringing in a lot of receivers. So they really just want to see, competition, who's going to rise to the top, honestly. That's what it's going to come down to. Who wants it more? Who's going to put in the work to deserve the starting spot? Because Houston's not going to hand it to anybody at this point. They're going to go out there and make sure that these guys earn it. So I'm excited to see Houston, especially, training camp, preseason. They're going to have a lot of competition. It's going to be fun to watch. So definitely that's a team to keep an eye on and just see, who lands where. So that's going to be exciting to watch. But with that being said, though, thank you so much for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, as more news continues to drop, you can be sure to find it here. So thank you so much for joining, and have a great rest of your day.